Hey guys, welcome back. So what we're looking at today is lesson 9, looking for associations. So we're not actually going to do the card cert that goes with this, but we are going to look at what is represented in these tables. So this is a two-way table, so having the years that we're trying to compare versus the cell phone and not a cell phone. So this is representative of a two-way table, which would then could be converted into a bar graph as such. So we've got our 10 and 12-year-olds. One shading is a cell phone, the other is no cell phone, so we can see that difference. Then there's what's known as a segmented bar graph. So a segmented bar graph is where the bars for the ages, rather than having two separate ones, we have it represent the full 100. So now we're looking at it in terms of percentages rather than in terms of the actual amount per se. So looking at it out of the 100, so 25 out of 60 is 41.6%. So notice where this is, it's a little further bumped up, but together these two represent 100%. So this is what it looks like to have a segmented bar graph. It uses the relative frequencies to take and calculate them. So that's the key thing about segmented bar graphs. Each bar represents 100% of a category. The bar is split into different subcategories that are stacked on top of each other. So you can compare their percentages. So it really helps you see how, more students have a cell phone when they're between 13 and 18-year-olds than don't have one, but between 10 and 12-year-olds, more students don't have a cell phone because we can see that full 100% and compare like, okay, we can see that difference a little easier. So here is a two-way table that shows data about cell phone usage among children aged 10 to 18. What we want to do is complete the table. In each row, the entries for has a cell phone and does not have a cell phone should have a total of 100%. Round entries to the nearest percentage point. So this would be 100%, and this would also be 100%. So these would be our frequencies. So to get the 42%, we would have taken 25 and divided it by 60. So to get the next one, we're going to take 35 and divide by 60. So 35 divided by 60 is going to give us 0.58. So that means this is 58%. Now we do the same thing with the next row. We're going to take 40 and divide it by 50. 40 divided by 50 is going to give us 0.8. So 80% of 13 to 15-year-olds have a cell phone. Now we'll take 10 and divide it by 50, which is going to equal 0.2. So 20% don't have a cell phone. So remember, it's key. When we divide these, we get this decimal, but remember, percentages are out of 100, so we multiply by 100 to get to that percent. So that's how I'm getting the 80 and the 20. And then the last one, for 16 to 18-year-olds, we're going to take the 100, the wrong thing there, the 50, and divide it by 60, which is going to give us 0.83, which means 83%, which fits with the 17% that's already there. So this is still a two-way table, but instead of showing frequency, this table shows relative frequency. Two-way tables that show relative frequencies often don't include a total row at the bottom. Why might that be? So in this case, if we're thinking about it, the columns are not percentages of the same number, so you can't add them. The percentage is in any given column are not likely to add up to 100%. So because we're doing it with this being our 100, these all together aren't going to also add to 100. So that's typically why we don't show that percentage. For number 3, is there an association between age and cell phone use? How does the two-way table of relative frequencies help to illustrate this? So yes, there's definitely an association. Yes. So there is an association between age and cell phone use, much higher percentage of 13 to 18 year olds have cell phones than 10 to 12-year-olds do. So we definitely could see that association. We could see how there was a much larger amount of students or children between that age that did than that didn't. So using those relative frequencies to really help us with that. All right, your keyword for this lesson is relative frequencies. Relative frequencies. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. Have a great day. Bye, guys.